Hello everyone, this is Mobius. Just doing the first episode of the Star Wars Galaxies Emulator, or SWGEmu, Let's Play. This is also going to be my first Let's Play, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll be an enjoyable experience for the both of us. For those of you who don't know, Star Wars Galaxies was a Star Wars MMORPG that came out in the early 2000s by Sony Online Entertainment. Had a huge following, eventually did come to a close back in December of 2011 to help the release of Star Wars The Old Republic. It's kind of a controversial game because of, well, many reasons, specifically the numerous gameplay changes that SOE performed on the game following the release of World of Warcraft and a few other things, which we're not going to get into those now, but basically what the SWGEmu is a fan-made emulator that emulates what Galaxies was in its heyday, back in before all the negative changes took place, which was more of a sandbox style game. You know, you're free to choose your own adventure kind of a thing. Didn't have like clear-cut goals like most MMOs do today, whereas the Old Republic is very story driven. This game pretty much just lets you make a character and throws you into the world and says go for it. So we're going to start by making a character, and as you can see we have quite a selection of races. Well, can't even see the Wookiee's head there. But yeah, we have human, Rhodian, Mon Calamari, Bothan, Wookiee, Twi'lek, Trandoshan, Zabrak, Ithorian, and Sullustan are all playable species. What I've kind of intended on doing for this Let's Play was doing let the viewers, that would be you guys, comment on the videos and kind of make, you know, decisions as to what should actually happen with the character. And because of that, I don't really want to pick a species that's getting, you know, like a Wookiee gets a lot of strength-based bonuses. While most of these stat points, or most of these attributes, can be remapped during the game, I don't really want to see, like, you get a lot of other bonuses as well. I didn't want to choose a species that would limit other class choices down the road, and because of that, I think I'm going to go with a human. However, if, you know, there's a lot of push for me to re-roll another character with a different species, as long as we don't get too far into this, and, you know, we haven't learned anything or done anything amazing, I'm all for that. So we'll see how it goes. We'll stick with human for now, and we'll leave it up to you guys. So we'll just do a little bit of customization right here. You can definitely tell by the graphics that this game is dated. I mean, it's not going to win any awards for the greatest looking game, but as far as gameplay goes, this game is really about as close you could get. Oh, that's nice. Let's make an obese. No, we're not going to do that. But this game really is probably as close as you're going to get to being able to actually just live or exist in the Star Wars universe. The Old Republic does a good job, but as we mentioned earlier, you can the sandbox environment of Galaxies is just a lot more, I'm not sure what the word is, but a lot more, it gives you a lot more choices as to what kind of a backstory you want to have, whereas, you know, with the Old Republic being story driven, a lot of that is already given to you, like, hey, this is your background, this is what you have to do. As you'll see in this game, it's up to you, and that's what draws a lot of people to it, or drew at the time, and that's why so many people decided to make an emulator for it, to bring it back. So that's a nice face, dude. You really can't do much. I mean, you have a lot of sliders here to customize the face, but really, it looks like unless you have the sliders kind of near the middle, it just looks ridiculous. I mean, look, if I take that chin all the way down, it's not a small chin. His chin is just gone. I mean, if I take all these down... yeah, that's cute. Or if they go, let's go try the other way. Oh yeah, look at that. The whole lower half of his head is wider than his forehead. Oh man. Alright, I kind of like the big chin look. The mouth is just ridiculous though. John, stop moving your head! That's too big of a chin. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. Hair. I don't know. What do you think of the rat tail? That is a hell of a rat tail. When I've made my first character in Galaxies, I think I went with this. This was my hair. Look at those bangs, man. Yeah, he's smiling. He remembers. This actually doesn't look too far from my first character, actually. Whoa. Angry eyebrows. But, I think... I don't know, I'm kind of plain. I don't want to do anything too exotic since this is my first time doing a Let's Play. We'll see. We'll stick to some of the basics. Yeah, it's not bad. I don't want this hair. I ended up respeccing the hair. There's a profession in the game called an image designer that can actually help you redo your physical appearance. And I think I ended up getting my haircut switched to this. So I didn't have facial hair, but I'm gonna give it a try this time. And we'll go with something like that. Whoop. Wait, I wanted to change the eyes. Where's the eye color? Here we go. Oh yeah, look at those blue eyes. How can you resist? How can you resist that face? Alright. Now, as in most MMOs, you have to choose a profession during character creation, and here we are. We have 6 professions to choose from. They are Artisan, which is your crafting profession, a basic crafting profession. We have... what are you? Switch. Why can't I switch? There we go. Oh wait, that's Artisan. This is Brawler. Okay, so Artisan is your crafting profession. Brawler is... oh, I like how they get all displeased if you switch off of them. Smelling his pits. That's awesome. Alright, so Brawler, this is your basic melee profession. Melee combat. Entertainer, this, we're not going to be touching Entertainer, but Entertainers branch off into either dancers or musicians, which do play a role, a pretty important role, which we'll see in a few episodes. But we're not gonna roll an Entertainer. Marksman, this is your basic ranged combat profession. Medic, obviously, is your healing profession. And Scout, which is kind of more of a utility profession. They have some unique skills. They're able to like harvest resources from creatures. They can do tracking and other stuff like that. Set traps or make camps. So, my first character started off as a Scout, and they're pretty cool. But what's important, and the point I wanted to make, is that you can actually end up getting all of these on one character. Unlike other MMOs where you choose your profession at character creation and you're stuck with it, this game has a fully customizable skill tree system, which all of these professions are included in. So we're gonna go with Marksman or Brawler. We'll do Marksman because I think people want to see some shooting in Star Wars. We'll go with Marksman, but at any time we'll be able to pick up any of these other ones, and I'll show you how that works. Alright, so our last step, we need to make a name for our character. And I don't want to make a name Mobius, because this is not my character. This is the Let's Play character. This is your character. This is our character. We will progress this character together. So instead of naming him Mobius, we're going to use another name that I sometimes use in other games. Not too often, but occasionally I will use the name Phenodin, spelled Phenodin. And we'll get rid of the surname, so we'll just be Phenodin. Very mysterious. Um, so yeah, meet Fenadin. I was thinking about maybe calling him Fenadin Let's Play. I think that would be kind of cheesy though, so we'll leave the surname off, and we'll go with this. What? The name is already taken. Well, that's disappointing. We won't go with Fenadin. Let's try, Gee, I really was not prepared for this. Let's try generating a few names and see what we get. Fowaggy? Yeah, okay. Jam. I'm not even gonna try. Zig? Man, Star Wars has some weird names. Alright, let's try something. Alright, after much debating with myself, this was not an easy problem to overcome. We're just going to go with another name that I very rarely, I think I've ever only actually used this name once before, Arthrales, or Arthrales, however you want to pronounce it, Arthrales, again with no surname. I'm crossing my fingers that this name's not taken. If it is, this is probably going to be the end of the episode, and we'll list it under Let's Play Attempt 1 Epic Fail. What? You can only create one character every 24... I couldn't make the character! I couldn't make him! No! I didn't... But it... Oh, man. That...